What are your thoughts on the difference between beliefs and values? Now,
Okay, we said Zane would go first, so go Zane.
okay, okay. I think it's good because everyone's gonna have a different answer than us. I believe that your values come from your beliefs. Your beliefs create your values in life, and then when you set certain standards, that your standards come from your values, and then your standards set your lifestyle. And I believe that that's the difference. Is that one creates the other, but they both are together. And when your beliefs change, then your values change. When your values change, your standards change. And when your standards change, your lifestyle change. So if you want a better lifestyle, you got to have better beliefs. And those better beliefs will give you better values in life. So the biggest difference sometimes between people is it their values or what they believe? So that's why when you get with someone, you want to have compatibility with them. You want to find out what the heck do they believe and what their values are. And shared values do keep relationships together better. There you go, Evan.
Okay.
Does that make sense now, the setup, guys? Yes, it makes sense.
No, it was mostly you just trying to find the page number, Zane. Okay?
Page 37.
And hold on, Zane. We've already talked about the relationship page before, so that should already be...
Now, what happened was that question made me think of this. And
Okay. Keep holding that up. I'm not looking at it because I have to look at the game, but keep holding it. Okay. You have the first two are the ones that we're discussing, right?
Right.
Okay. Belief, values, and then standards, and then what was the last one?
Lifestyle. Those are two I added.
Okay. So now imagine Zane, 90-year-old Zane. Is Zane still gonna care about confidence?
Yes.
Okay. Is Zane going to have all the same beliefs?
Around confidence?
No. Zane's belief system now is going to be the same when Zane's 95 years old?
No.
Okay. Is Zane's lifestyle going to be the same when he's 95 years old?
No.
How about his standards?
No.
So what's the only one that's consistent?
Well, your values are going to change too because of your beliefs.
I just asked you, is confidence going to change?
Yes.
So you're not gonna be the confidence guy when you're 95?
I am, but I'm gonna have stronger confidence. I'll be able to explain it much better. I'll be able to teach it much
That's
better.
not it. Whoa. Being able to teach something has nothing to do with what your values are.
Well, if you're saying my core value, right, which is confidence, but for me to have confidence, I have to first believe. You can't have confidence without belief. And the more belief you have, the more confident you'll be. So you can't have one without the other. They go together. It's impossible to have confidence without belief. That's what it's so, it's like you can't have wet without water. They go together.
Well, even in saying that, it's not sequential then for you.
Yeah, if I want better values, I need to have better beliefs.
But you are saying that you have your value. Confidence is your value.
Value is confidence. So for me to improve and increase my confidence, I've got to go back and improve and increase my beliefs.
If you look across the consistent themes, right? Like your who doesn't change.
But it can be improved.
It's sure deeper levels.
That's what we say. Personal development is all about improving, getting better, and getting better, and getting better, right? How do you get better unless you believe more and believe better? Like even when it comes to money, I have some money beliefs that's messed up. I got to change those beliefs, which is going to change my values and change my standards and change my lifestyle.
No. It's not going to change your values. You're talking about a wholesale change in a belief. Like money is X. That's a belief that you need to change and get rid of and kick out of your life. The value, will it make your confidence better? Sure, but you're not changing your value.
I'm improving it.
No, but there's a reason why I said values are what holds people together, not their beliefs.
But those values come from their beliefs. What values don't just come out of the sky, come out of the air. Someone has to. They have a essence, an origination. they come from somewhere. You just don't, because in that case, everybody have the same values.
No. People have different values.
Right.
But values
So
are
they have to be taught.
values are the least elastic, especially when you hit on the thing that's most important to you.
But values have to be taught. Because you can have the same family members and they all have different sets of values when it comes to whatever.
And what, beliefs are not taught? We're talking about what's the most elastic.
That's my point. So that's my point, because so how are values formed? How are they formed? Something has to form and create the values. They got to come from somewhere, and they come from your beliefs.
And why does the opposite argument not make the same sense in your mind?
Because, well, I think they complement each other because
but it's not just complementing. You called it sequential. This leads to this. It's not just complementary.
It's the same thing when someone asks me about competence. First, you got to have confidence. Then you have competence. From the confidence, and then the competence increase your confidence. They feed off each other, but one is before the other.
Confidence is before competence?
Yes.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true.
No, lots of people just try stuff, not expecting to be good at it at all, just to try, and then you know what? They get competence.
Right. But you got to have a certain mindset to even be willing to try. And mindset is confidence and skill set too. But even when you go and do something, that I do it, then that changes your confidence.
They're all related, but it's not sequential. There's lots of people who try something having zero confidence in it. Like, I'm just going to try it to have fun, or whatever. I'll just give it a shot.
Right, but they still have a baseline fundamental confidence that, hey, I'm willing to try anything, and that comes from having a foundation, a baseline of confidence. To be willing to try anything, you're not going to be able to do that out of fear. But again, it's still, you can't have confidence unless you first have belief. Belief in your ability, belief in your identity. Maybe your parents told you you could be anything, you could do anything, and that's so subconscious or so deeply embedded in you, you don't even think about it. You just go do it because they already made that part of your identity. It's really part of your unconscious, which is deeper than your subconscious. But it's so much a part of your identity. Just like what you talk to your son. You said, hey, Carmichael's could be anything, could do anything. Mm-hmm. When you teach that to your son at such a young age, that is so embedded deeply in him, mm-hmm. He doesn't even think about it. He just go do because it's a part of his identity, it's part of who he is. So when he said, oh, that's confident, well, it's already in his foundation, at the very core of his essence. So he's willing to try anything because deep down, his dad put that in him a long time ago. Okay,
and?
So again, that belief is already deeply embedded in him, which gives him the confidence to be willing to try anything. And now his values would be based on that. Because again, the shared values thing about couples being happy, I totally agree with that. But again, if you look behind the values, they got shared beliefs about whatever the situation that might be. And then because sometimes people get in relationships with other people, they will adapt their values to match the other person's values because they have changed their beliefs about whatever that might have been.
You're close, just wrong. Like they're related, but it's just wrong. I mean, how does that even does it even matter?
It makes so much sense to me.
Well, like that's the part that needs to be fixed more from a coaching Zane to be a better coach. Because if you actually start working with people, it's way easier. Like look at it from this. It's way easier to change somebody's belief than a value.
Right, but if you want to change their values, you got to go to the beliefs.
No, you need to understand what their core value is, and then that will allow you to change their belief. As somebody who's done this many, many, many times with people, I'll tell you that that's the process. Is it related? Of course, but the sequencing is wrong. When you understand somebody's value, what they value most, first off, it's always something positive, where beliefs are often negative, right?
Somebody's can be positive too, though. Beliefs can be very positive.
Of course, but your core value, you want to start at the foundation of who this person is, the thing that does not change. Is their core value. And around that are related values, and around that are
Okay.
beliefs.
Okay, so here we go. Let's have fun with this. Okay, I don't know if you want to go this far, but what's your definition of value then?
I don't know.
Why
You
do
do know,
we,
because
why do we need to define?
No, like I don't worry about definitions.
Because it brings more clarity to the subject.
Pull it out of Built to Serve. Your most important core value. If you want to help people, like I generally hate these kinds of questions, like what's the difference between this and this, because it's the
Those are great questions. I love them.
no, because it like why the real question, like what you should be asking if this was a session, is like why does that matter? Why is Terry asking this question? That's what actually matters,
Terry,
right?
Terry, why are you asking that question? That's a good one. Terry, why are you asking the question of what are your thoughts on the differences between beliefs and values? Why are you asking us that
Right.
question?
Like why does
are
that
you
mean
asking
something to? Because all that really matters is Terry's definition, right? Or if you're being a coach, right? What matters is the person who's in front of you. Why is this the question that they're asking?
Okay.
Because
okay,
I'm
great.
taking it from the perspective of if you want to get somebody to change, you want to
Right.
coach somebody. The fastest way to do it is figure out the most important core value and then help them align their life to go off and achieve it. And that's going to be by making a change to their beliefs based off of what their most important core value is. Like if you can't wrap your head around that, you shouldn't be coaching Built to Serve, because that's the whole premise of the entire book. Your who is stable.
Right.
Your who is the thing that doesn't change, and then it's your best version
your
of
why,
you.
Your why and your who does not change. Right.
All of your beliefs around it will. I believe that I'm not good enough, that nobody will listen to my videos, that I can't X, Y, Z, right? That I can never be on Tony Robbins level or whatever, right? That nobody wants to hear those are all beliefs, as well as positive ones, that I'm Evan Castrilli Carmichael, I can do anything and believe that I can.
Right. And that's why I said earlier when Susie asked about what's the most effective way of marketing your who or the who, and I said, okay, that's your credo. Is it also considered to be your ID, your identity of or just who you identify with, your essence? And I think he said yes. But again, who you are doesn't change. You are who you are. And then your why, which is your purpose, those two do not change. Now the how and all the other stuff that will change, based on as you grow older, the circumstances, the whole 9 yards. But there's something that created that credo. There's something that created that identity.
Maybe. I don't know. But it's not beliefs to values.
Okay.
Like, does it come from somewhere? Sure. It's the same thing. Like somebody asked me, at what age do you figure out your who? Like, I don't know. Do you have it when you're 5 years old? Do you have it when you're 13? Do you have it when you're 20? But like by the time you're an adult, you've got it. I don't know at what point. I haven't done enough research on kids to know, that at 5 years old, you know what your most important core value is. I don't know. But I'm also not, mostly in the kids coaching business. And I haven't dedicated the time to do the research to kind of figure that out. So where does your value come from? I don't know. But beliefs come next. You can have a couple, like that page that you pulled out. People can be together with opposing beliefs, but opposing values, that's doomed. You and your wife have a lot of different beliefs.
When couples get together, yeah, we do have different beliefs. Yeah. Just like brothers and sisters do and siblings do, the whole 9 yards.
But you're together because of the shared values that you have, especially
Right.
like the biggest ones.
Yeah, but the biggest one. But our beliefs line up with those also.
No, but you have more differences in beliefs than you do your values. And beliefs aren't as important. They're important, but not as important
Right.
to a relationship.
When people
Look
get
at this.
together-
Look at us even here. Like, we have a lot of different beliefs. But if you look at the things that we value, they're pretty
Yeah,
close.
Yeah.
And that's why we can have a discussion around it,
Yeah. With love, too. With love.
because we value love.
Yeah. And we really value serving people and being of service and helping and HELP. I love that. So, yeah, okay.
So where do values come from? I don't know, but it's not beliefs. And then the next two on your list are what? Lifestyle and
Well, yeah. Well, so I said that. So standards. So different people have different standards when it comes to different things in different areas.
I get it. I know what standards are. Yeah.
And then I would think, okay, where does our standards come from, and what create our standards? And then from standards, it eventually leads to what? The lifestyle we want to live in life, the lifestyle we want to lead.
All right. Yeah, I mean the danger is just putting everything in a one size fits all. Where the best coaches, you're gonna know what to bring. Like, where does your why fit in there? Where does your purpose fit in there? Where is identity in there? Like, all things that matter, and this is why definitions often don't matter. I mean, it matters more to why they brought it up, because they might be asking about values, but what they really care is about purpose. And that's when you're coaching somebody, you can figure that out more than, a stage speech or a text question.
And that's why you ask questions, because you'll find out what their values are, or what. And I'm not thinking values. I think of two things: benefits. That could be one, but really, I think of what does a person consider what's most important to them. Mm-hmm. What you value is what's really most important to you.
Yeah, and if you're going to coach them, that's what you need to understand.
Because that's how eventually you're going to get their buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
What's most important to one person may not be what's most important to the next person.
Not just their buy-in, to actually give them the right advice.
And sometimes values can be based on a person's principles. Sometimes even religious principles.
But now there's another word, like principles. Or where do those come from? And what leads to the other? And what's the difference between a principle and a value and a belief? It's like you can get caught in just this loop of nonstop dictionary where what do we actually get accomplished?
Well, even how sometimes when you define the word principle, it could be a standard of behavior. It could be a code of ethic, a code that you live your life by.
Yeah, it could be your purpose. It could be your passion. Like, people have a funny way of, like, it's, why are you asking that question? What does that mean? Like, what does the answer mean to you? It's like, well, because I'm trying to figure out if I should stay with my wife, or I should try to figure out if I should start that business, right? And then you get, like, they're asking the wrong question. So let's help them ask a better question.
So, Terry, are you still here? We would like to know, why did you ask that question? You plead the fifth, we understand. Why did you ask that question, Terry?
Or he just wants to...
Curious mind wants to know. He said, I'm still here. Okay, Terry, if you're still here, why did you ask that question? We want to know, man. Come on. Don't leave us. He said the build-up is intense. Yeah, it's intense, man. The build, I want to know now. I did a build up. I made it intense. Now you're making it intense for me. Drew wants to know. Oh,
we lost one of our players. 4v5 is gonna be rough.
Oh no.
Yeah, maybe he's asking because he wants to be a better coach himself.
Hey, well,
and that's one of the questions they ask.
Don't lead the witness. Don't lead the witness, Evan. Let him do his own thing.
No, I'm not.
It's a deep question that is often misunderstood. What do you mean? What do you mean? Misunderstood. What's misunderstood about it? What is misunderstood about that? Because if you can figure out what's most important to people, then you can persuade them and move them much better.
But before that, you know how to help them. You know the advice to give them. Before you worry about persuading them, what's the actual advice? Like, that's part of putting on Zane 2025. And why you can do that is because Zane 2025 still has the same core value as Zane 2021. Might have a lot of different beliefs, but still has the same core value. So that's why the message will...
I definitely have to change my beliefs around money. I know that for sure. Around money and selling.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the reason why I know I have to do that, because I think sometimes when you want to change your beliefs, you got to come up with reasons why to change those beliefs and why they're not serving you anymore and how they can serve other people. But I know if I don't change my beliefs around that, then I can't sustain my message in life. And number two, even with selling, you can reach more people. The more you sell, the more you can reach more people with your message.
Well, so that's one way, right? Like one way is to get your head around it, but it's actually probably not the most effective way. The most effective way is to be around it.
What do you mean? Be around millionaires?
Not just sure, but people who have, like, if you want to actually shift your perspective on something, your way of thinking on something, the best way to do it is to actually be around the people who believe that. So that's where I said, hey, if you're trying to get to, if the biggest thing you need to work on is money, if you think like that's the biggest shift between where you are now, like the biggest belief shift that you need to make, then I hang around your pastor less.
Right. But teach it, right?
And then start hanging around the people who are, even if it's remotely, right? Like books and videos and podcasts and everything else, you're hanging around the people who have, even if they're not teaching, no, just being around them, it will rub off.
No, I'm saying sometimes this is an old adage that says, teach what you need to learn the most. And so that's going to force you to go really do the research on it and delve deep into it.
Sure, but it's different. Like, be around it daily.
But around those other beliefs, not the other old beliefs.
Yeah, the beliefs that you want. Well, you know how to be around the old beliefs daily. That's what you've been living for the past few decades. Now you got to be around the beliefs that you want to have.
Terry said, because people believe they are closely linked, and I wanted to gain some different perspective. Did we give you a different perspective? Evan gave you one, I gave you one, and that was a different perspective. Did we give you a different perspective, Terry? Great question, though. That was I love that question. Because that's maybe, I had
Well, but listen, this is part of coaching, is that sometimes you have to go more meta. You got to step up to, like, if a coaching client comes to you and asks you, Zane, what's the difference between, I forget what the two were anyway, belief and
that's right.
Like, and you just dive into an answer and you start pulling up your sheet, like that's the wrong path. You're just about to waste 18 minutes explaining the concept without actually helping the person.
So I need to pull back and find out, why did they ask that question? How does it really pertain to their life? Where are they going with that? Because it's probably got some connection to something else that, like you said, the question they asked is not really the question they really want to answer to. Any
definition question.
Okay.
Or what's the difference between this and this?
Okay.
Like I think was it on this stream? Somebody came in and said, what's the difference between this and this? Or what does this mean? And he was asking because he doesn't speak English, or he's never heard the word before or something.
Yeah, it was on the stream. I forgot what it was. Because English wasn't his first language. And
then we had the guy who came in and asked us about what geopolitical borders meant or something. And like, even us trying to answer that question, we were nowhere close. Because I'm going to space, and really it was because in the 1300s something happened, right? In his history class. So you're almost always going to get it wrong. And it's usually because the person, like if somebody's asking Terry that question, they don't have clarity over the question. Like they think they're asking a clear question, they're not. They need help with something deeper. That's your job, is to figure it out instead of spending 10 minutes answering that question.
And also that word value could be used in different contexts. Like Drew, remember you was teaching me the value ladder? Yep. So that it could be that has nothing to do with that. I want to say give more value. It could have different meaning based on the context that you put it in.